Okay, good morning. We're back in the garage, in the gym, whatever you want to call it. I've got my little diesel heater going because it's getting a bit cool now. So this is the H calorie diesel heater, which I've just done a previous video. And I did an unpacking and found a few faults. I've listed them in the description down below, not on this video, on a previous video. I'll put that link up here, this little bit here. I'm just going to show you how I'm going to assemble it. A few little ditties you might want to know. I'm not any expert, I just enjoy engineering, that sort of stuff. So I've just bent this exhaust to an angle that I think is almost spot on. As you can see, it fits almost perfect. According to the, well, it doesn't give you any instructions, but according to the picture, this bracket is upside down. It should be the other way, but I put it this way because if you look at the, where's the other one? I've got it somewhere. Bear with me, this one. If you look at this one, okay, if you turn it upside down, and then this pipe is nearer the outlet. So you don't have to have the exhaust going up, you can have it straight out. You don't even have to have it connected, it'll just come straight out of here. But you need this, you'll need this ducted on there if you do that, or the exhaust away. Anyway, you'll suss it out, okay? So to put the bend in the exhaust, if anybody's interested, all I did was measure it like this, roughly. I just thought, you know, okay, let's get somewhere near. And that's it, and I just bent it using my thumb, put my thumb here and really held it tight. Now the exhaust goes on the inside. Okay, so it goes on the inside. If this is all creased, because my exhaust was creased and this was creased, just get something that you can push in here, usually a pair of pliers. Just put the end in. I used this and it went in nicely. I just straightened it up. Don't force it, just straighten it, then push this in. This Jubilee clip's not the best fit, but I will make it fit, okay? You can see it's a little bit tight, but if I put it at the bottom, I think it'll be fine. Seems to be more gap at the bottom than there is at the top, okay? That's one, and then these are the little self-tapping screws. They've got a little cutout on the end, and they'll just tap into the plastic and reset themselves. That's if you want this on. If you're going to put this on, you can use your silencer, but the trouble is with these, if you're going to use this, there's any moisture, it's not going to get rid of the moisture. And that's the thing I'm looking at the moment. I'm just doing a demonstration, but really, when you fit a muffler on it, at the very bottom there's a little moisture hole where all the moisture comes out. So you might want the exhaust straight, you might not want it fixed permanently, you might just put it on temporarily and just push it in. It's entirely up to you. That's where we're up to at the moment. I'll stop here, just tighten this up and I'll get back to you in a bit. So while I'm assembling, I made sure this, so I pulled these together gently, held a bit of pressure on that, and that at the same time, like doing this, held them together, and then I used a little long neck tool, the right size. Make sure that was nice, not crush it, but make sure it's nice and tight. Then I also put the casing which had come away here, so I put that back in, and that's all clipped in nicely now. That should be fine, and that's your induction out, so I can't test that. I should make sure I was going to undo that, make sure it runs freely, but we can tell that when we test it. What other things? I made sure these were tight. I did them half a turn extra on the little Jubilee clips, made sure they were nice and tight. Have I tested that one? Let me have a look at that one. Yep, he's tight. That's all I'm doing. I'm just going through it all to make sure it's all nice and tight. You see, that doesn't fit perfect. I'm not being funny, but that does annoy me, and it should fit perfect. Apart from that, the casing's all right. Yeah, the exhaust. I've ordered an extra exhaust bandage. I couldn't get that. I don't know whether I'll look see if I can get one of them, but that's going to go on the outside. So I've ordered an exhaust bandage or a wrap, whatever you want to call it. And that's where we're up to at the moment. Why is that not fitting? Look at it. Look how bad. Anyway, okay, I'm going to glue this. I'm going to have to make sure I'm going to have to glue that or do something with it anyway, because it's not. Yeah, so I'll keep you updated. Next, I'm fitting the air pipe. I could show you as I'm going along, but it's just boring. You can't go wrong. Okay, you put the plate on, 2 screws. You think the plate's upside down, it's not. It takes it away from the device. Okay, at the bottom, that was a little bit awkward because this tube does stick out quite a bit, so you got a bit to play with. I've tucked it right inside. What I used is a long, not a long reach, but quite a long flathead. The flathead seems to be better on these clips. With the posies, they seem to slip. So I used a flathead, and that is on tight. What I'll do now, I'll make sure this sits just below, and I will cut it so this sits on that. Actually, I'm going to make sure it sits on that. So I will. It doesn't matter. You've got a bit to play with anyway. So you can pull it through, and then I'm going to cut it. I'll show you that. I cut it to length with a pair of snips. Okay, and then it does screw on. So you have to put the Jubilee clip on first. Don't forget that. Slide that down first. It does sort of screw on, and then if we put nice and tight, Jubilee clip up. We use the flathead again. Now if I push this down and push the Jubilee clip up, I'll probably hold it in place. If you know what I mean, I'm holding the Jubilee clip against the metal. It doesn't matter, as long as it's on, it just stops it from moving. There we go. Don't want to crush it, so don't over tighten it to crush it because it's only plastic. That's it. There you go. Alright, so to continue, I've done everything. I've fitted the induction pipe, goes into the combustion chamber. The exhaust is on. Whether I'll keep it like that, I do not know. Fuel tank's on. Fuel tank's a doddle. There's 2 holes already there for you. You just punch them through with a screwdriver. 2 bolts into the casing. Goes okay. Shorten the pipe. What I needed, they give you a hell of a lot of pipe. So that's on. These clips just push on with your fingers if you want, or a pair of pliers, and that just goes directly into that. The things on for that. This is still a bit loose. I'm not bothered about that. I've checked everything else. The power leads in. I've got these quick release battery terminals, which I've got 2 more on order because these are off the boat. And they just push on top, and then you push these together, and that clamps this to the terminals, and that's it. And I think we're ready for a fire up. My lad got me some diesel because he owes me. So I put the diesel in. I'm going to open the window, and we're going to give it a first fire up. And I mean it first. I've not touched this. This is only since I did all the bits and bobs and all the little glitches. I mean, I'm going to call it transport defects. That's what we're going to call it. Transport defects. So without further ado, I don't even know where the on button is. Oh, there it is. By the look of it. Now it should talk to you. I've just turned my diesel heat down because we're in the garage and it's cold today. So let's see what happens.
Start heating.
Oh. Talks to you. That's pretty, isn't it? Now I know about carbon monoxide poisoning. I know I'm not going to be here near long. The window's open, so we'll be fine. But that's impressive. Now this is the first fire up, so I presume it will probably fail due to priming. Now there is a way of priming it, but I just thought, well, you know, let's just give it a go. The fluid, you can see the fuel line's already halfway full. That's probably from the pressure of the tank. Oh yeah, to drill the hole in there, I used an 8mm drill bit, probably a little bit smaller so you can actually screw it in, and then just dropped a piece of wire through the top. No, through the bottom here. I put the wire through the bottom, grabbed it at the top, absolute doddle to do, and that was it. So we're just waiting now, not heard anything, the pump's not come in yet. Heater plug should be heating. It says there, but 60. I like the gauge on it. It's very, very sexy, isn't it? Look at that. Let's wait and see. We have time as well. That's pretty impressive. Oop. There's your pump starting. I'm expecting a failure. Don't forget, it's got to go through here and into the fuel filter, into the pump. If everybody's interested, I've ordered a new fuel pump, not for this particular one, but for one I got in the van because it's quite noisy, and they reckon it's a new one. It's got its own filter in it, so I'm going to give it a go. Okay. I might just turn it around a little bit because I've got the air duct at the back. This is your intake. This is your air duct at the back. Nothing yet, and no fumes yet. Okay, so it's just stopped. I was expecting that. Which is fine, I don't mind that because I've made a bit more of a safety conscious decision. I decided to add, that will focus, an extra pipe to go through the window. I think there's any smoke out of that. Oh, that's at the moment. Did he get warm? Oh, he got warm. So right, so we'll give it a go again in a second when she's reset. So I just pressed the button again, it said stop eating, and it's going off. It's very clever, I like the way it talks to you. So we'll let that stop and then we'll press it again in a second. While we're waiting, if anybody's interested, this battery I got from eBay, it was 28 quid, it's brand new, and when it came I didn't realise that the terminals are mini terminals at the top. So I had to buy, if you look, inserts to go in them to make the terminals bigger. So I might put a link in the description down below for them. I'll put a link in the description down below for the connectors as well. And anything else I can think of, I shall put a link in the description down below. Put a link in the description for everything. Right, how are we doing? Right, we're still off for a second. Try again, even though it's still saying off.
Start heating.
I think it says start heating. Must be a little tiny speaker. Right, we'll give that a second. Just kick back in again. Alright, let's see what happens. I had the most tiniest puff of smoke. Oh, it's going now, look, well, is that smoke or is that moisture? Oh, she's picking up now. Yep, we got warm air. Yeah, I'm impressed. Fair play. A little bit skeptic at first. Especially, I think there's a few more videos on YouTube as well. I know there is, I've seen them myself. And they've had the same little glitchy things that's come through the post with a little bit of vibration damage, or what should we call it, transit damage. But not damage, but, you know, things not secure. Smoke is cleared completely. Oh, nice, warm. Okay, let's give it a bit to crack on. Okay, this thing is corking hot. It is hotter than the one in my van, so this is working absolutely exceptionally well. There is a couple of little glitches I'll tell you. First of all, the remote control doesn't work. That doesn't work because it hasn't got a battery, because they're not allowed to ship batteries anymore. So you've got to buy a battery. It tells you which one to buy and whatnot. That's pretty straightforward. Secondly, just to control the temperature, I'm dropping it down just by sliding this down. 19, I don't know how far it'll go, 18, 16, 15, 13, 12, but the other one goes to about 8. That's it. That's 8. We'll leave the video there. What we will do on the next video, which I'll do for you because it'd be interesting and I'd be interested as well, to get this thing fired up again, full power, drop it down to its minimum, see what the temperature's like, and then we'll do a fuel test and see how long the fuel tank will last. Well, 8 hours as well. We'll do an 8-hour fuel test on this little beaut. Alright, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and a like, it'll be great. Take care, and we'll definitely catch you in the next one. All the best.